Hello everybody, Ed Hopkins here with BeaconSnap. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a browser campaign. First thing you want to do is jump over to subscriber campaigns, go to browser campaigns. Browser campaigns are for getting subscribers that come to your website. What happens is they'll come to your website, they'll get a notification on the screen, whether it be mobile or desktop website, to subscribe to their browser or website notifications. Upon subscription, they add it to your list, and at any time, whether on a desktop, computer, or a mobile device, that notification will appear on their phone or computer. On a mobile device, depending on the sound settings for notifications, when that notification comes into the device, it will make a sound. So let's set up a browser campaign. Let's create our campaign title. This is for your reference only. Next is a notification title. This title is needed because it appears at the very top of the notification, which we'll show you here in a second. So I'm just going to keep it the same. The notification description, keep up to date with our latest news by clicking allow. And then we set our main font color. Now this is the font color for these items here. We want that to be a little bit black in this case. We can choose our subscribe button color. This is the button that they'll hit to subscribe to your browser notifications. And then this is the text for that button. If they're not interested at the moment, you set the color for that button and then the text for that button. If you want the color of the fonts in the buttons to be different color than white, you can choose it here. You can also set the background color for your notification, your pop-up notification, by setting it here. By default, we have these settings already for you. Next is the pop-in suppress hours. If a customer comes to your website on the same page several times consecutively, well, you don't want that pop-up to keep showing up. We can place a cookie on their computer or device, which will stop that from showing up. Now that'll stop showing up when they hit the maybe later button. So if they come back to the website in 48 hours, that pop-up will appear again, and maybe this time they might subscribe. By default, the setting is 24. Next, we get to choose our Google font. You got all the fonts to choose from. Depending on the look and feel of your website, you can match it. By default, it's set to Ubuntu. Next is the icon image. By default, it's just this red alert, but you can upload any icon that'll appear inside the notification. Next, we can choose our icon animation. This is the activity on the screen that the icon will make as soon as it appears. You can choose from bounce, flash, pulse, rubber band, shake, swing, to dot, wobble, and jello. You can go ahead and play with those just to see what everyone does. Next, you have your pop-in options. We can have it pop in at the top. We can have it float in the middle as it comes down. Or we can have an icon that appears at the very bottom right-hand side of the screen. And on click, it'll bring up the modal or the pop-up to allow them to subscribe. For advanced users that are good at CSS, you can enter your custom CSS code here. We provide no training on advanced settings here with custom CSS. We expect you, if you're going to be editing this, you are an expert at customizing CSS. So I went ahead and created this. I'm going to click Save Browser Campaign. So let's look exactly what it looks like. So we can click on Preview. And you'll see here in our preview, pretend this is a website. This little icon will bounce at the very bottom. That's because we have the setting to bounce. If I come back here, if I set this to rubber band, click on Save, go back to the site, click on Refresh. You'll see here it's rubber banding. It just draws attention to it so someone will click on it, and then it'll bring up the modal on click just like that. And the animation will occur once it's inside the pop-up. Going back to the options here, we have the icon float option, which I just showed you. We also have the middle float option. I'm going to click on Save, click on Refresh, and this is what the middle will look like. Imagine this is your website. This will pop in just like this, and the customer will select allow or maybe later. Before I even show you that process, I'm going to show you the last one, which is the top option. Click on top. Click on Save Browser Campaign. Let's go back here and refresh it to see what that'll look like. You see it pops in from the top. Now, just to show you that things can be changed as far as look and feel to match your website, if you wanted this to be like a light blue color on the pop-up, we go to our background color picker. We can just choose like this color, for example. Click on Save. I come back to this, refresh, and now we see that it's blue. I'm going to set that back up to, I'm going to leave that blue. Now I'm going to show you how to integrate that into a website. So we're going to grab Get Code. Now, if you're using a WordPress or a more advanced site that has Bootstrap or any other code like that, this may not be necessary, but I'm going to include it anyway. Sometimes this will cause a conflict if you include it if it's already added in the head of the document. But here we want to put this code in the body of the document, so we copy all this. Then we want to go to, in my case, I'm using an HTML editor. Go into my website. At the very bottom, we'll find the last body tag. The last body tag will always have a little / in front of it. Just above that, just paste that in there just like that. Click on Save. And if any of you are wondering which editor this is called Microsoft Expression Web. There are several different kinds of editors out there. If you guys are using pure HTML editors, but most of you, I'm sure, are using WordPress. So now I'm going to go back to my website here. I'm going to reload it. We'll see here, this notification appeared. Now I'm going to change this to show up at the very bottom as an icon. Click Save Browser Campaign. Go back here, click Refresh. And now we see the icon on my website, just like that. And it works for every single option. Whatever you change this to, it automatically changes it on your website, along with the colors, the text, the font, all that stuff can automatically be changed on the fly from within the BeaconSnap system. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Now, if I was going to say maybe later, I'd click on this and this would flow right back to the top. It would place a cookie on my computer, and I wouldn't see that message again until the cookie expiration time, which is indicated here, 24 hours. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Allow. On click, it's going to bring up this window. In some cases, because I've already subscribed during a previous test, it'll pop up another option to select yes or no. On yes, it'll then give you a success message just like this. Now that I'm subscribed, I can send a mass notification. To send a notification, we have the option. We come up here, the notification scheduler. We enter our broadcast name. This is for your reference. This is the title of your notification. This is very important. This is almost like the main call to action. And that's the message that's going to appear in the notification. I have the option to upload an icon. I'm going to choose this icon right here. Next, I want to send them to a website upon the notification. In this case, I'm just going to send them to Yahoo. I have some options here. I can send the broadcast at a certain date, a certain time. In this case, I'm just going to send it instantly. And I can choose a list to which subscriber list I want to send it to. I'm I'm going to click broadcast message now. They will get a notification on their device with everything that you entered into the system, and on click it'll go to the website that you entered as the click link. At any time you can see your sends. Just click on the sends. This you can always refer back in case you want to copy the content. And if you ever want to see your subscribers, just come in here, select your campaign, and it shows you all your subscribers. This concludes the training for browser notifications. We know you'll find this as a very useful tool for keeping in contact with your customers and getting new customers.